Welcome back. Time now for our Friday Focus on You. This time, health and fitness advice. Personal trainer Joseph Brandenburg is here. He's the owner of True 180 Fitness in the district, and he's a fitness columnist. Welcome back. Good to have you with us.
Good to be back, Bruce.
Today on the show, for this Friday Focus on You, we want to tackle some of the contradictory things that we as normal people who are just trying to get fit and lose weight, a lot of what we hear seems contradictory. So I want to bounce some of these ideas off you, and where you can break the tie or tell us about your experience, go for it. Number one, breakfast. For a long time, it's been the gospel that if you want to lose weight, you got to hit that breakfast. You got to eat eat food early and eat the right stuff. But a more recent study said there's no link. There isn't a link between breakfast and weight loss. What is your experience?
So my experience is that most people are not hungry when they wake up in the morning. And just from a common sense perspective, forcing yourself to eat food when you're not hungry is not a great way to lose weight. If you are someone with sort of the opposite problem and you're looking to gain weight, then certainly you're going to have to sort of make yourself eat more. But for most people, for fat loss, if that's your primary goal, there really is absolutely, and the most recent thing that came out about there not being a link is absolutely spot on.
Okay.
So one of the things is sort of all the sort of stuff that's come out in the news before has all been sort of correlation data. Like it's the summertime, right? Ice cream sales go up, homicide rate goes up. But there's, they happen at the same time, but it doesn't mean there's any causal link. So whenever they've looked at is there a causal link between having someone eat more often or eat breakfast, they usually can't find anything. What
you used to hear, and I remember my dad saying this, you need fuel in the tank. So there was that idea that if you're gonna, you're going to be doing something. A lot of us sit at the desk. We do that too much. But the idea being you're going to be active. The body needs food, so get up and eat. The second idea was jumpstart that metabolism. You know what I mean? Food starts the metabolism process, and if you need to burn calories to lose calories. So I guess that's some of what we were hearing all those years when Eat Breakfast was the gospel.
Yeah, that thing, it's sort of one of those things just in fitness that people have repeated so many times. People kind of assume that it's true. The eating breakfast in the morning will help to jumpstart your metabolism. And all of the evidence on that, absolutely, there's just no evidence to suggest that that's true. Eating additional protein, that accelerates your metabolism. Doing strength training, that accelerates your metabolism. Getting enough sleep, that accelerates your metabolism. There are things that legitimately do that, but eating breakfast is not one of them.
Protein, weight training, and sleep.
Getting enough sleep, interval training, those things actually work.
All right, strong takeaway there. Claim number two, we've been told that to lose weight, limit fat. We're also hearing frequently, if you want to lose weight, limit carbs. Which is it?
Well, so that's one of those, that's one of those things. So there's a lot of stuff in the news now about sort of the long-term effects of low-carbohydrate diets versus low-fat diets. And there's a lot of different ways that you could sort of look at the evidence. And so for me professionally, I'm mostly worried about adherence and long-term success. So because I don't have a lab, I don't have anyone who's going to prepare anyone's food and control things down to the nearest gram, and most people do not. So in terms of what I take away from it, so the most important thing in weight loss and for lasting weight loss is adherence. And that is, can you keep it up? So for some people, a lower fat diet, provided it's a smart one and it actually works for you, if you're not getting the results that you want from the nutrition program that you're following, it's not working. But provided that it actually is working for you, if you find that easier to stick to, than a lower fat or lower carbohydrate diet, then you should do that, and vice versa. What seems to be a big problem, and now, by the way, low fat, not like crazy, super duper low fat. I mean, you need some in your diet. There's caveats to that. What seems to be a big problem is a bunch of carbs and a bunch of fat together. Kind of like that middle of the road, like kind of moderate fat, moderate carbohydrate. That seems to be where you get sort of no benefit from adjusting the macronutrients. If anything, it kind of seems to work against you. So you need to be a bit more to one extreme or the other. Not like extreme. I use extreme in the not in the extreme sense.
The broad takeaway and the thing about which there isn't much conflict is heavy on the vegetables, heavy on the beans and grains, and limit to the maximum extent possible potatoes, bread, pasta.
I would say,
Sugar.
so for sure, for everyone, eat a lot of vegetables. Like that one's for sure. I would say otherwise there's a lot of individual variability on that.
Really?
But for sure, like flour, sugar don't seem to be good for anyone. Having enough protein seems to be vital. Drinking enough water seems to be vital across the board. Having a significant amount of vegetables, that seems to be vital. Having, some fruit in your diet. The other stuff, there's just a lot of individual variability, and people's results will vary, and it's important just to, if you're going to do something, just do something consistently, give it at least 2 weeks, and then you can actually say for yourself, hey,
right,
this is working, this isn't working. But if you're kind of bouncing around or very inconsistent, you really don't ever know what you're doing, so you don't know what to adjust.
Exactly. Right. I totally get that. We're told that diet and cardio aren't enough, that if you want to lose weight, you have to hit the gym. But you came across a study just recently that found that working out can lead to weight gain. So I'm confused.
So the stuff coming up about, it's called the hedonic compensation, which is basically if your exercise is mentally disengaging, boring, it feels like a chore, it is a chore, people are more likely to compensate for this sort of drudgery by seeking some kind of pleasure. And very often, because it's probably a weight loss thing, the pleasure that they're going to seek is going to be food. So
I went to the gym, I worked out hard, I'm going to reward myself with ice cream.
It's more like I went to the gym, I worked out, I hated it, and I'm going to... It's more that.
Okay.
I can tell by the way you said that sort of, you view like hard work in the gym as, this is a process of getting better and developing yourself, and it's engaging, and you sort of see purpose to your activity. So that's the good kind of exercise. That kind of exercise, people don't then go afterwards like, oh my God, I need to have this ice cream to compensate for this awful thing I just did. So actually, I would say, this is by observation, I would say probably the most disengaging, most boring thing you can do is to, plop yourself on a piece of cardio equipment while you watch television. Mm-hmm. Physiologically, you're not going to get much out of it. And then mentally, it's so boring. That's going to make you run for that ice cream.
Joseph Brandenburg of True 180 Fitness, part of our Friday Fitness on You rotation. Thank you, Joseph, as always. See you next time. We are back with a program note right after this. Nope.